Hey guys, we are back. It's a Saturday. We have been busy the last few days and a bit under the weather yesterday, but we are back and we're going to have a look at our sort of final results of our encryption. So let's take a look at that, and you'll notice that now when we press the button we get that. Hi Sunbuster. So you can see here that we have got some nice encryption. UK. And that all looks very nice. Now we can slow it down so it doesn't look quite so weird, right? And we can do that by slowing it down. Right, so let's have a go at that. Now I would say that is a tad too slow. So maybe 0.15, no 0.25, 0.115 UK, and we shall take a look in a minute of how I actually implemented this. Now I'm still going to say that's a little bit slow, but not too bad. So we'll go 0.12 and try that. Oh yeah. Right, there we go. How's about that then? Now we can, if we want to, change the type of things that we are going to do, as in change the letters that we can select. Right, and what we need to do is find out what the values are. So I'm going to show you here. Right, so these are the ASCII values for each of our numbers, letters, etc. Okay, so we're going to change the C++ in a minute. I'm going to show you the C++ as well. So you will notice that we really start at 33. Okay, and we want to finish at 126. Okay, 33 is an exclamation mark to 126, which is tilde. Right? Now, we can actually decide for ourselves what we want, right? We could have all capital letters, so if we went from 65 to 90, or we could have all small letters, 97 to 122, or we could even have just numbers, 48 to 57. Okay, so let's try a couple of those things, shall we? So, if we go to the code and we go to encrypt text, we can go to encrypt word, right? And this is actually our C++, right? So, this is it here. We've got 32 to 127. So if you remember, if we looked at, well, we could do zeros and ones, that's fine. Right, so 48 and 49, right? If we were to do zeros and ones, we could just do 48 and 49, right? Save that, and I'm going to build it in here, right? So this is just going to build. Right, so let's wait for that to do its thing. It'll probably be a bit slower first time, but you can never kind of tell. Right, so basically what we're doing while we're talking about this, right, is we're getting F string, we're passing in the length that we want, we're setting up our value that we're going to pass back, then we're looping round, and for the length from the start to the finish we append a character that's either, in this case, a 0 or a 1 to the number of values we want. Now what we're actually doing here is getting the lengths of the variables of the string, right? So for example, if we were to do Scotland, then that would give us 8. Okay, so we would construct a random set of zeros and ones with a length of 8 and pass it back as a string, and then we obviously display it. Okay, so once this is done, we'll be able to run it, and we've obviously got Colombia, which is going to be 8, Sweden, which is going to be 6, and India, which is going to be 5. Okay, and we're doing that for the duration, the location, and each of the different things. Now the flavor text is basically doing the same concept, except I break it into an array for each of the words, then I encrypt the word, I build it back, and then I pass it out as a string. Okay, so there's nothing really that much different between the flavor text and the individual, you know, like the location, the duration, whatever, right? But as you can see here, this takes a while for some unknown reason to build 6 lines of code. Right, but we'll just leave it to do its thing. I'll get there eventually. this is as you can start playing about with this, right? So you can find out if 0 1s might be cool. We can try it and find out if it's cool or not. Right, is this going to build or what? Ah, we probably want to stop that, to be fair. And what I'm going to do, is this actually building? Yeah. I'm going to cancel that and then I'm going to build it again. Right, we're not going to do that. Right, go for it. Right, hopefully this will work a bit quicker. Now, what I have found is that if you build it in here first and then you build it here, it tends to work faster. Right, you can just build it from here, but that tends to take what appears to me to be a bit more time. It might not be, but that's what I find, and I don't know why it's taking so long. It's just one of them things. There are various sort of help videos on how you make it compile faster, but none of them are sort of de facto answers. Right, and we can all sing a song while we're waiting. And the thing you find about this is, oh, it's done something. There we go. Right, it's done. Right, so now you'll notice that when we build it here, yeah, you'll see it's pretty much done it. So, in theory, that is it with numbers, 0 and 1s. Okay. We could do it with all numbers, right? If we go back and have a look at our table again, so we could do it up to 57, right? Now I'm hoping that this actually compiles a bit faster and we can have a look at it with numbers. So we can go 57, save it. Now I'm hoping that this will build a bit faster this time. There we go. Hot reload complete. We should be good to go. I'm kind of actually liking the 0s and 1s. Right, but what we could do is we could go for letters, but only lowercase letters, right? So we could actually pick from 97 to 122, right? So we could go 97, 122, save it, build it. Right, hot load to that. Drag this out the way. Don't know why it keeps moving back up there, but anyway. Right. So you can see we've just got small letters. Right, I'm kind of liking the binary Sunbuster. I kind of liked that the best. It was 48 and 49, wasn't it? Let's just check that to be sure. So it was 48, 49, that's right. Right, and build that. Right, so that is going to give us, see how that's moved back up there again? What's happened there? It's pretty cool. Right, now I had one more thing that I wanted to do here, which is going to be just one more little piece of icing on the cake, right? So we're going to have to go into our designer for this. Right, and in here, right, what have we got here? Image 155, that's not really what we want, right? It's this border, right? And what we actually want in here is an image. Okay, so basically what we're going to actually have to do here is probably put a canvas panel in here. Right, what we're going to do is we're going to delete that. We're going to wrap this with a canvas panel. Right, this canvas panel is going to be 00 padding. This image is going to be full size. right? And then in our canvas panel, we're going to add another image. Now this actually may end up being another widget, but bear with me for now. We'll put it in as an image first, right? And the anchor is actually going to be in the center. Right, so that's going to be 0.5, 0.5. Right, so that's going to be right in the center. And really what we want here is a dot, believe it or not. Right, so I'm going to see if I've actually got a dot. Right, button circle. Yeah, that one will do. Right, that's going to be sized content. Then we're going to make it 32 by 32. Right. And then we are going to tint it to green. Right. And the reason for that is we're going to hide it and we're going to show it, right? But the idea here that it becomes the marker for the city, right? So you can see we have our dot here, right? Now we're going to have to obviously change our coordinates slightly, but that's okay. Now the idea was to have possibly a horizontal box and then have like the dot and then the name. Right. So what we could do is we could wrap this with a horizontal box, then in here we can put a text, right? And I don't know why it's done that. Well, that's weird. Oh, I could bind it to the mission details. Let's do it to that for now. Alright. Okay, I think we're going to end up having to do a widget there. Right. So, anyway. What we want to do is get rid of that for now, because it's obviously a load of crap. Yeah, we'll do a separate widget for that, right? And in the meantime, we'll go back to our graph. Oh, wait a minute. This image which is, have I done that the wrong way around? Yeah, I did the horizontal box to the wrong one. Right. Right, and this one. Should be centered. I think that should be 0.5. 0.5. Right, I think I've completely broken that. But we'll find out in a minute. Yeah, maybe I haven't. Right, so what we're going to do is image, we're going to change this to img underscore city, right? And in our graph, in our event graph even, we are going to get our image city. I'm going to say set visibility to hidden. Right, we'll drag these along a bit. Not that that's going to help an awful lot, but anyway. So we'll drag this along a bit. Put that in there. Right. We're updating the map location, which is fine. Right. So we're stopping the encryption and then we're basically getting our image city. Visibility, we're going to set the visibility back to visible. Save that. Now, by default, our image city is going to be hidden. Right? So we're going to say hidden. Press play. So we've got nothing. And there it is. There it is. And there it is. So we're gradually adding a bit of the we are gradually adding some nice dynamism to our menu. It is very hot here today and I am sitting here absolutely lashing with sweat because the fan I've got is too noisy for streaming. So I switch it off and now I'm sitting here and my t-shirt's gradually getting soaking wet. Right, so let's say for example we were going to do a place in Colombia, right? So we're going to do Bogota or like Medellin, or I would probably think of somewhere otherwise. So there's we could pick wherever we want really. So say we were going to pick Medellin, okay? Well, what we need to do is basically put our map where it is. So I'm going to say it's probably about, let's say about there. Right, so if that's the case, we probably want to go to our data tables and it's going to be in the UI, isn't it, somewhere? Missions. Right. So we've got Colombia, right? We probably want to change this as well. We've got 2072. So let's go for 1872 and save that, right, and press play. Right, so that's went the wrong way. Okay. So in actual fact, we want 2272. Right. Right, so that's good, but it needs to go up a bit. Right. So let's go 650, right? Right, so right, so that was the wrong way, right? So we want 350. And try again. Probably 400. Yeah, that's about right. So India we probably want, well, let's try it at -22. We do need to find, of course, Delhi. Right, cool. Next question is, where exactly is Delhi? In the grand scheme of things. Ooh, it's really quite high, isn't it? Oh, we could actually pick somewhere. That's kinda Hyderabad, isn't it? It's not far off. So we could go for Hyderabad, right? So let's find out where we are in Sweden. Right, so we're off to the left. So if we check this one out, and go Sweden, Stockholm is completely on the other side, but it is kind of over there. So that's Stockholm. We've got Gothenburg, Malmo, if we go up the way, there's not an awful lot of ones that are well known. Norrköping, Helsingborg. Right, so let's try and go for Stockholm, shall we? So that's -325. So I'm going to say 225. That's went the wrong way. So that's going to be 425. Right, so yeah, that's about right. At least it's not far off, I'll say that. It's close enough. Right, so that's cool. So really what we need now is to change the struct. Right, we've got country, location. So the question is, what have we got in location for these? Stockholm. Right, so we've got it. Country is Sweden. Right, Delhi. Well, actually, that's going to be Hyderabad. and Colombia. I think that's Medellin. Right, and we can now pull this to fill this in. Okay. And we can actually get rid of this if we want as well. Or we can keep it or change it into something else. Right. But you'll notice we've got Medellin, dooby dooby doo. Stockholm, Hyderabad. Right, we probably, if we go to here, and we've got our image city, right, we probably want to change this to like a darker green. Right. So if we try this, now the question is, does that stand out enough? Probably not really. Right, I'm thinking here the best way to do this is just to do it in white. I'm just going to make it stick out a good bit more. Right. And once once I'm happy with this, I shall create a separate widget for this. And we could do it in red. Alright, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to get rid of this. Right? Well, I'm not going to get rid of it. I'm going to just make it, well, we're not going to do that. We need the border. Right? And it's the border here that's got the thing. So we're going to set that to 0. So in the comments, guys, what do you prefer? Right. Do we like that? Oh, I can tell you this is going to have to change. So what we might do here is do like a vertical box with the country, the dot, then the city. Okay. But what we're going to do in the meantime is go and grab a cigarette. So if you're enjoying the stream, hit like and subscribe. I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Don't go anywhere, folks. Yeah, we're back. Well, we did make it kind of accurate to where it was. We can try a red dot, Marcel. We can do that. We can try a red dot. Red dots are not out of the scope of realm of possibility. Right, now possibly need, the red would possibly work, right, but I'm going to go for a smaller dot because I'm kind of bonkers like that. Yeah, do we like that? I'm not 100% on the red, but I'm going to get outvoted on this one, I think. Oh, it's not supposed to work like this, Marcel, anyway. Right? I'll tell you the idea behind this. Right? Or I'll try and explain it. This won't appear to start with, right? You're going to have basically... Right. It's easier if I just do this to start with, right? Right. The point is you'll have like well, you see that outline thing kind of put it in the middle because it's not in the middle, it's in the middle of this section, and it's because this is here. Right? Now, we could do different things, like we could do this as like a horizontal sort of bar of information across here, so you could do like duration, time, difficulty, location, mission, then have these values all on the bottom here horizontally. Yeah, but Marcel, it's not the way it's supposed to work, right? I know what you're talking about, but it's going to look like this until I sort out how it starts. The point is that this would be the selected mission, right? Then it would have buttons to select the next one, the next mission, or the previous mission. Right? So, in effect, when you first come in, there'll be no mission selected. Okay? Now, I haven't 100% decided on what I want to do with that yet. But, in effect, this button here, let's say we move it, right? Let's say we move it to the bottom. Right? And let's say X is fine, Y is going to be 2. Right? So let's say we do that and we wrap it with a horizontal box and then we duplicate it. Right? So we've now got 2 boxes, right? So this and this, we're going to have 2 boxes, right? Then let's say 5, and let's say 5, right? So this one would basically be a text box, right? Except we shall wrap that with a scale box, which is going to look like crap, but we're not going to worry about that too much. Right? Okay, that. And we're going to do that and that. And that. Right? Then we'll duplicate. Okay, we won't duplicate that apparently. Right? And then this one's going to have the same. We're doing the zoom in and out. We're doing the zoom in and out because we want it to be a bit more dynamic, right? It would be easy if we didn't do any animation, but we wanted something right now. There's no reason why we couldn't do something like that, which is kind of what we were aiming at, but obviously they're going to be bigger than this, right? But this would be like previous mission, next mission. So if you press next mission, it would take you to there, right? But we're obviously going to be, we're going to zoom in and start on the correct one to start with, but we've not done that yet, right? Well, that's all something that we can do, but let's get it actually working first. Can we do that? Yeah, my idea was that it's going to be like this, right? Now, it's not starting in the right one, right? Because basically I just draw it, right? But I can fix that, right? But the point being, and it's probably better if, right, we start from here. So it's going to start from here, okay? So it's better to look at it as if this is the thing that happens, right? And you'll be able to click on previous and next. Right, now in theory, right, in theory, we could draw all the dots on the map, right, as green, or like an outline of green or something. But the problem is, right, let's have a look. Are you going to see them? Are they going to be clear when you actually view the map? And then if some missions are underneath this part, then you're not going to see them at all, obviously. Right? So let's do the right thing here. Let's do the begin play. Right, so that's pulling the first one. Right. Map. Right. Okay. So that didn't move the map to location. Okay, so we're not actually doing that. We've got fill widget, designer, graph. Right. So fill widget just fills the widget. And this is on clicked. Right. Where was that other zoomed? It was here. Right. So we've put that there. That's interesting. Right. So we don't want it to do that then. Was that on some sort of event tick or something? No, it's just on event construct. Right. So that's weird. That's a weird one. Now this would suggest that the fill widget is actually causing a loop somewhere. Oh, that's weird. Wasn't expecting that, I've got to say. Interesting. Not 100% sure why that's looping. It's not looping. Yeah, I've got a problem there, I think. Could be that. Yeah, that's what it is, this thing here. I think. Right, I'm going to delete this. Right, we're going to rename this in a minute, but this is going to be like initial. So we're going to duplicate that. Right. But we're not going to update the index. Right, and we're just going to get 1 in this instance to start with. Right. And it's still, for some reason, looping. Right, now the interesting thing is it shouldn't actually need to do that at all. Right. It should basically just be doing that. Still haven't figured out why it's looping though. It's a weird one. Unless it's drawing multiple main Right, the interesting thing here is how often is it calling this? Is the loop in here causing the problem, or is it somewhere else? Right, so there's the first run. Yeah, this is looping. Right. So we need references. So that's it there. and that's it there. And that's okay. Okay. So that, in fact, shouldn't be there. It should be over here. There we go. Well, that was a weird error, but there you go. So we'll stop that for now. And this is going to be in this shell. Compile that for now. Right. So what I suggest is, if we go back here, we go to our designer, right? We've got this border. This is the border that was kind of weird. Or kind of not weird, but was a bit of an issue. Now, we can pick any border here, right? The point being that the red dot is in the center of this frame, right? Now, we don't necessarily need to pick this particular frame, right? We can pick any frame we want. Right, now these are all obviously got this white kind of background on it. Now what we could do is we could make it like 0.6. Now these ones are completely see-through, right? So we could go for something more like, oh, well, wait a minute. Okay, that, right? We could go for this, right? And then basically make it like as well as just going with one. Right, so the point being that our dot is actually in the middle of that frame, right? You can see it's in the middle of the frame now, so it makes more sense in this context, right? Right, so that kind of makes more sense now, but what I'm going to do is in here, we're going to create another widget. Right, it's going to be widget underscore city. Right. And we're going to do a vertical box. And we're going to have text. We're going to have another text. So this is going to be text country. This is going to be text city. Then we're going to have a spacer in the middle. And that is going to be, so let's say 20. Let's not say 20. Let's say 50. Then these two this vertical box, we're going to have to wrap it with a canvas panel. And this vertical box is going to have to be centered. Right. Then our font is going to be that. And for this, it's going to be the same. Well, actually, for this, we're going to go with Droid S. Then this is going to be centered. This is going to be centered. Compile that, right? And 0.5, 0.5. Then in here, right, we're going to have WC. Right, and W City is going to be in the center. 0, 0, 0.5, 0.5. Interesting. That's interesting. Should be something like that. Right, so it's going to be something like that. So this is going to say Colombia and this is going to say Medellin. Or at least that's the idea. Right, but I think I'm going to leave that for just now because it's really hot here. I'm quite uncomfortable. I'm going to have to put on a fan or something. So thank you guys for joining us. If you enjoyed it, hit like and subscribe. I'll probably be back at 8 PM tonight, but I'm not 100% sure on that. We'll see how it goes. But once again, check out the links in the description. There's lots there for you to check out, and I shall see you guys later. Bye bye for now.